Well, we're finally live. Look at that. Even though I was gonna wanted to go at 1:30, I just running behind a little bit, mixing up some paint. So now that the paint is mixed up and ready to go, we'll be doing things. Got the 3D printer going, so I'm printing off something else. Yeah, okay. So Sparky's asked the question, wondering if you like them better. Oh yeah, the Taurus motors that got the decoder built right in. Yeah, they work great. I like those. Those are really good. Easy to program. So yeah, I got them all in. They're all in and operating quite nicely. So we got all this. We got the signal lights hooked up to them too. So when the switch throws, it the signal lights change and everything. So there we go. So while I was sleeping last night, I printed off the windows. So the windows were being printed off while I was snoozing on on the building that I was doing. So here are all the windows I got printed off. There we go. So that's one set. So I printed all three sets of windows and doors all off at the same time. And then here's the other set. So there we go. And this morning when I got up, I started printing off the roof, and the roof is now all done. You can see the detail there. And this piece goes here, like so. And then there's an HVAC system that goes in these spots here and other things. So it's going to be a lot of detail. This building is now ready to be put together. I just have to figure out where I'm going to get the glass from. That's all. So, Cotton Belt's here. How you doing, Cotton Belt? Good to see you. So I got five. What is it? 5 pieces of road. 4 pieces of road to paint black to finish off what we were doing last night on the railroad. Now, I did print off a code 83 track crossing because I written on there code 83. So I'm going to take that up when I go see Sparky, show him how it works, take a couple pieces of the road system, see if he likes it. Maybe if he likes it, he might be able to get rid of that foam road that he's got on his layout. Let's see if we can make his street running scene a little bit better. So right now I seen something that I thought, well, I'm gonna try this out. Uh, Stupid camera. How you doing, Lee? Good to see you. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Lee. So we got the 3D printer going. I'm printing off a ballast spreader. That's been printing for a little bit. So it says it's got another hour and 20 minutes to go. So I'm going to try this ballast spreader out and see how good it works. So we shall see. So we will be doing some airbrushing today. And I did find my other airbrush. I'll go get it. Now here's my other airbrush. The one thing I really like this airbrush, and it's one of my better ones, it does have removable cups, which I really like. So I've got 3 different size cups, depending on how much paint I'm going to mix. This is my bigger one, right there. And then, of course, we have everybody's probably wondering, well, what's this valve for? This actually, I can control the air pressure that's coming out of the end of the gun. So I can have my gun set at 30 pounds per square inch. Okay. And if I feel it's a little too much paint coming out or too much air, I can just turn that down and tone it down just a wee bit. And this is a dual action: push down for air, pull back for paint. So, but there's a problem. I tried using it last night, and the paint doesn't seem. It seems something is sticking in the trigger. So I'm going to have to tear this brush right apart, complete disassemble, and clean it all up. At least I got my other airbrush working. This one here has the 0.5 millimeter spray nozzle and needle in it, so it gives me a wider spray. Need to get an adapter for your airbrush? Oh yeah. Well, the compressor I got that off eBay. A nice little airbrush compressor with a hose and a quick disconnect. I still got to get a quick disconnect and put here. I do have an additional air trap on my airbrush. So I have the air trap that's built right onto the tank. Okay. And then I have another water trap that sits just underneath the airbrush attached to the air line to catch any more moisture. So it's just extra protection for moisture going through and ruining your paint job. And so that's all what you need. All of a sudden you get water splatters coming out and the paint goes, and it's like, all right, well, that just ruins your paint job and everything. So we're gonna flip back to the camera. It's got the 3D printer going, and then I'm gonna reposition that camera, turn it around. Seeing how it's sitting on a tripod, we're gonna put it into my paint station area, and you can see exactly what I'm doing. Gonna make sure I get the camera aimed right. Yep. Okay, so like I said, when I said there was another water trap on the airline itself, it's right here. So this is my quick disconnect. Mango comes off. That goes back on. Well, it fell out. Turn the compressor on. This is also a dual action airbrush as well. Push down for air, pull back for paint. So I'm going to load up the airbrush with paint and get my filter mask on because oh geez, what happened? We lost the camera. All right, let's see what's going on with the camera system. All right, we lost the camera. Just hang on, people. Well, let's see what happens now. Okay, we got that camera going, and it's not picking up my other camera. Just hang on. I don't know. Lately, my cameras have been not wanting to work. Oh, there we go. All right. We got the camera back. All right, we'll just wait for the delay. Oh, Floyd's in the chat. How you doing, Floyd? Good to see you. You can see we got the camera back. So I'm going to load up the airbrush with paint, and then we're going to start airbrushing. I get my mask on first. I want to be breathing this stuff in. I got the paint all mixed up and ready to go. Got the compressor turned on. I use an eyedropper to fill up my airbrush gun, just so I don't make a whole lot of mess. I fill this large cup up about halfway, then I throw a lid on it and then do a couple of test sprays before I start painting with the airbrush, just to make sure we got everything spraying out nice. There we go. So that section is done. Now I do have tape, as you can see, that's down on the box to hold the model into place. Okay. If I hold the airbrush closer, we can do all kinds of nice Oh, I shouldn't be muted now. Oh, hang on. Hello. There we go. For some reason, my mic got muted. All right, so we got 2 pieces of the road done. I got to load up my gun. All right, we're back in business. forgot to do the ends. Last piece to be painted. You only kneel for so long. calls. I'm busy. Okay, good enough. All right. Time to take a break from the painting. Let's see how my 3D print's doing. All right. So I just poured the Bella spreader. Yeah, I'm gonna see how good that works. So I'm done with the painting for now with the black. Seems how we got all the road pieces I needed to get painted to finish off the road section on the one side of the track. We're going to be doing that. Getting that installed, and then I got to figure out how many more pieces I'm going to need on the other side. And get those all primed up and ready to go too as well. So, and I'm going to do some sidewalk resizing. I'm going to resize a couple of sidewalks and see if I can match the Merchants Row sidewalk that I got printed off when I did the building last night. Now, the other thing is I'm going to have to figure out how to do the intersection at the other end. I'm not sure how that's going to go. I might have to make a piece of road out of styrene in order to get it fit into place the proper way. We'll see, because I'm going to print off a huge section of road. And I'm going to actually resize it. I'm going to make it bigger, and maybe I can use that. I'm going to figure something out. So there's two different types of ballast spreaders that this guy's got. So I'm going to try. I'm trying out this one. This one's got 20 minutes to go, it says, before it's finished printing. And then we'll probably end up trying. I'll try it out because I do want to ballast some track here while I got the module inside. Get that section going as well. So you see, it takes a while to do the with a 3mm, or I should say, 0.3 millimeter airbrush. Takes a bit to do a big road section like that. So. I'm going to throw another one. Once it's all glued down and everything, I'm going to go in with some filler and fill in certain sections of the road where I need to sand and stuff. So Yeah, I didn't think it would work good for turnouts. That's why you have to do your turnouts very carefully and do it a little at a time. All I need to do is find myself some rail tie brown, so I can start weathering the. I'm going to weather the track too, and the black ties and the ballast once it's all down. I won't be weathering the track on the street running scene, that's for sure, because I don't want to ruin it. So that section of track won't be ballasted, but all I've got to do now is figure out where am I going to put my sensors for my. So I'm also thinking about the idea of maybe having working traffic lights as well. So put things on a timer. But we'll see. It's just something I'm just thinking about and mulling over right now, and just kind of make this scene look real nice. I got that big city backdrop that Sparky ordered for me. I still got that in the tube. I got to get a piece of masonite board and get that mounted, and then I'm going to put it in behind and see how it looks. So this module stays in the apartment until it's got all its scenery and everything is all finished. And then I can start the other excuse me. Start the other module where the brewery is, because I'm gonna redo a few things on that where I put my brewery. So and of course I have to cut in some track too as well for the next grade crossing on the module that I'm working on right now. So you just have to keep pressure on it while feeling the siding. Oh yeah. Well, we'll try it out and see how it works. Because I normally just spoon it in, and I just sit there with a nice fine small little paintbrush and just brush it all in, and then wet it down with water and isopropyl alcohol, and then take an eyedropper and start dropping the glue down in and flooding it out. That way, the once the ballast is all wet and pre-soaked, put your glue down, it won't move it. Now, I'm also going to make a couple of more intermodal containers, 40-foot ones. I'm going to print off some white ones. I'll probably do 3 or 4. I can do 3 or 4 at a time. And all those will be going up to Sparky 107, 107. I got a bunch of containers I printed out for him. So I'm pretty sure he's got some 40-foot well cars for these containers too that he can drop in. All right. It's time to go over to the layout. Let's see. See if I can reposition my mic without muting myself or disturbing it. Then see what happens. There we go. That'll work. I just want to make sure we got the camera aimed right, because we have to do some surgery again. I just want to make sure I get the camera in the right spot so you can actually see what I'm doing. I gotta bring my phone with me so I can keep an eye on the chat. That phone right there. There we go. Some things out of my way. There's my surgical knife right here. And we have some ties to remove, so I still got to remove real close to the rail all the way back. So I'm going to go back as far as this black line. Remove all these ties. That's why I keep the stone here to remove the bits of plastic off the end of the blade. It's also my sharpening stone too, but I got lots of these kicking around. Need a little more light on the subject. Here. There we go. Didn't quite heat it up enough. There we go. It just goes through just like butter, right? That way I'm not putting too much pressure on the tie to try not to disturb the rail, because I'm cutting the outer fish plates off in the tie completely. You got little bits of plastic in there, but we'll just clean that out. Should invest in the candle. That way, we can have the candle lit instead of using the lighter all the time. But it is what it is. It's what I got to work with for right now. Yeah, well, a Dremel would be nice, but I don't want to score the truck either. I do have a Dremel. Oh, we're stuck. The Dremel may be faster, but this is easier. It just goes through like butter. I'd rather do it this way. Takes a bit of time, but hey, I'm in no hurry. All right, what did I do with my track gauge? Make sure it's not under something. Nope. All right, Which one of you guys took my track gauge? Oh, I do it. Oh, there it is. I found it. Well, the rail hasn't moved. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's right there. I tell you, it feels good to be working on the layout, that's for sure, even though I have to do it in sections, but that's okay. Seems though the garage is not heated, but it's kind of hard to do things out there when it's cold. Can't paint out there in cold weather. Can't glue anything out there. All you can do is nail stuff down, but only a few more ties to go and we're done. And I'm just going to make sure everything sits flush before I install the one section of the road. And it sounds like my 3D printer is done. Yep. All right, so we'll go check that out as soon as I'm done removing the last 3 ties here. I'm going to go check out the print. I'll switch cameras. Now, there's still little tiny bits of plastic in here. I'll clean that out. All right, so we have a solder joint right here because that's where I had a wire. All right. Had a feeder wire there, so there's a bit of solder in that rail. So there we go. And a little bit of glue in here too. Just cut that out. We have a rail joiner here. Heat my knife up again. There we go. Look at that. Just peel that right out of there. Because of that rail joiner, it's holding that out a bit. Beauty. I'm just going to put a piece of tape on the back side of the manhole cover where the hole is. That way when I drop the manhole cover, it doesn't drop all the way through. All right. Trusty old Gorilla Glue out. Glue coming out here? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I see something else I don't like. Uh-huh. Trim the backside a little bit. Where the brim plate used to sit. Left the little residuals behind. I'll have to make that flush. right. Now I better do the other one too. Get this one ready. All right. Do not glue your fingers to your work. Don't do that. I'm pushing that tight against that track. Beauty. Look at that. I just like to hold it a little bit longer than usual just to make sure it bonds, you know. Gorilla Glue don't take long to bond, that's for sure. Especially when it's super glue, right? There we go. And of course, we're going to drop in a manhole cover that I got painted up. There you go. Oh, I got some unwanted stuff on the end of my glue bottle. Okay. There we go. Take care of that. Lost my manhole cover. Okay, I got lots more. There we go. That's done. I have to go to Forest City Surplus and pick up a bunch of more eyedroppers. I'm running low. These cheap plastic ones, you know, they don't last long, right? So I'm going to see if I can find some glass ones. That way I can clean them. Once I'm done using it for whatever I'm using it for, glue, paint, you know. Now, just to make sure there's no little residuals of glue on the track. All right, that rail moved. Where that joiner was, or I should say is. We'll have to fix that. And that's an easy fix. I really got to buy some more toothpicks. I'm running. Oh, there it is. My last toothpick, so I'm trying to hang on to it as much as possible. That's where that there's a joint there, a rail joiner. In here, right here, seems to want to move. I think I grounded that rail joiner back just a little too far. So we're just going to do this. Inside the rail and drop it down on the ties that I got under there. And secure that rail to the tie. I won't have to worry about that joiner anymore. And just push that rail down. With the track gauge. Okay. Beautiful. I like it. Look at that. Put that rail back down in there where it belongs. Okay. Just have to be careful around there. That's all. Look at that. Ooh. There we go. All right. Got the computer. And we'll check this thing out. Take the brim off. And of course, where the rails sit, I gotta pull that little piece that's in there out because it's classified as a floating region. So let's break that out of there. Peel it out. There's always a stubborn piece that don't want to come out, too. That's why your trusty knives come in handy. Well, let's see how it slides on the track. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that. You got 3 holes in the bottom. All right, we'll have to try it out. I'm good with that. And over to the 3D printer. I always like to show you guys what I'm doing with when I'm into my Creality stuff. There we go. So we're going to take that model out. Boom. Back to prepare. Clear that off. Downloads. Those are 20-foot containers. Where's my 40-foot? Oh, it might be in that one. Oh, those are all 20-footers. That's the wrong download. Oh, there we go. Okay, as you see here, you see 2 little holes in the side here, that container, that's for a forklift. Dude, there's that type of container. So I don't want that one. So we're going to get rid of that model. That's not the one I want. Use this one in it. Oh, well. I'm going to use that one anyways. Set it up. Got it in the slicer. Got my printing plate back on. I better throw a little glue on the printing plate. Hey, Joe. Good to see you, man. Takes a little bit to generate a G code. There we go. Now we're just going to check things out. There. Cool. All right, let's flip her back around. There we go. Back to the top. And we're going to hit print. Yeah, all right. There we go. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Make sure the thing's going to print the way it's going to print. Oh, yeah, the material cost for 3 shipping containers. This is American prices, $2.62. What are you going to do with all these containers, Sparky? You're going to probably have about more than a dozen. All right, it looks like Floyd leaving us, is he? All right, Floyd, Merry Christmas. Thanks for tuning in and joining us. Adding to the house. Busy tonight. And Doug's stopping by tomorrow afternoon. Fridge is full for when you do come over. Fridge is full of what? I'll be heading that way tomorrow after I deliver some Christmas presents to my granddaughter, and then I'll be scooting on down to Sparky's tomorrow afternoon. Well, you guys won't be watching this finish off printing. This is an 8 hour. It's going to take 8 hours to print out 3 containers. It's a good thing I started it now, because it'll be printing by the time when I go to bed. That gives me time to work on the layout, though. Because we are going to go back and work on removing some more of those ties and getting the rest of that row system on that one end done. Well, I hope I have enough white filament to do 3 containers. Looks like I might. If I run out, well, I got some black left, so it'll be a black and white container. That's all right. You can always paint it. I wanted to get some gray filament of PLA, but they didn't have any, so I had to buy a roll of black and a roll of white. They didn't have the gray I wanted, so as a matter of fact, they didn't have any gray. There's 2 different shades of gray that I like too, so if I would have got the one that I wanted, it would look like the asphalt has faded. And then all I have to do is just go in with the black weathered paint and just go in and do some shadowing. So I'm still going to get the airbrush out anyways, and once all the row system in, I am going to weather the road just a little bit. Use a little bit of powders and paint, seal it on there before I put any parking lines on the road, and that one side of the curb where the sidewalk is that's up against the track. It's going to be a no parking area, so that curb edge will be painted red, and there'll probably be I'm debating if I'm going to put a fence along there, and then I'm going to make a couple of pedestrian crossings to go across. I got to make a template to do my parking lines with, because I'm planning on airbrushing it all on there. So make my road lines and everything, the rail crossing lines, and airbrush all that onto the road. Of course, I'll do it on a couple of. I'll print up some extra road pieces and practice before I actually do it. Yeah, by the looks of things, I should have enough white to do 3 containers. So after the new year, I'll have to go and get some more filament. I might have to order the gray that I want. So all right, so we're gonna go back to the bench work and get some more road put in. Try not to burn myself while I'm doing this. No, I didn't think. I tried to do two, but the knife just cools down too quick. I always like to check the rail to see if there's any movement yet. If there is, then I'll stop, get my gauge out, then drop glue on the inside of the rail and push it back against the fish plates on the inside. Or it still clips in underneath there, underneath the rail. It's tedious work, but you know what? In the end, once everything's all done, it's well worth it in the end. Once it's all finished on both sides, you're gonna look at it and go, "Geez, you did a damn good job." And I'm in no hurry, so there's no sense rushing it. And I know people say, "Well, use a Dremel will be faster." Yeah, well, I'm in no hurry, so I'm going to be taking my time on this module. It's going to take a while to build, so it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to do a model railroad, don't rush yourself. Just take your time and just don't be in a hurry to get things done. You start being in a hurry and wanting to get things done, this is where you start making mistakes and things don't seem to work out the way you want it. And then you get frustrated with yourself. Just take your time doing things. Don't rush anything. Don't worry about how much time it takes to cut anything off. Heat the knife up, slice the tie off. Heat the knife up, slice the tie off. You know, who cares? I've built enough railroads in my life to know that if you start, when you rush things, where all your mistakes are made. Now we have a bunch of plastic still stuck in there. Heat the knife up and we're going to clean that out. You got a stubborn piece right here. Very stubborn. You don't want to come out of there. Yeah, you're going to come out. One way or another, you're coming out of there. He says, no, I'm not. Oh, yes, you are. There we go. Looks like there's a bit of glue stuck in there. There we go. All right, so we know there's a bit of glue stuck in there. That's from when I had the original road there. So I got to clean out all that old glue. It's right in there. You know what it is? It's a piece of solder sitting there. It takes care of that. Probably from a feeder wire that I had on the track originally on the old layout. But yeah, that's all solder in there, so that's grounded off flush now. Good enough. I'm not going to muck around with it because I don't want to actually accidentally cut through it, the rail. There we go. That's looking good now. All right, Joe. We'll see you when you get back if I'm still alive. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Go do what you need to do. It's all good. You know, everybody's got things they got to get done every once in a while. They can't stay for the whole stream. That's fine. As long as you stop by and say, hi, hey, that's good. You got stuff to do. Go do it. Don't worry about it. Very good. No rail movement. So that rail's not even moving off the ties. So that's good. All right. How much more do I got cut out? Oh, just a few more. Not too many more. I'll get that piece in. Four more ties to go, and then we can get that piece in. Then after Christmas, of course, I got a bunch of these all ready to go. I got to prime all these up and get these painted, so that'll be after. I'm not going to paint those on camera, so I'm just going to go ahead and paint them all up, get them ready for install. Because we're going to do the other side of the street running scene, get the other side going, and getting that done. So. That's good. No rail movement. Even though I know the rail's not moving, I still just want to check. I just like to make sure before the next step goes in. You know what I mean? Beautiful. I'm going to sand this piece a little bit on the edge, on this edge. takes care of that. Okay. A little bit of glue on the rail. I'll have to use my track cleaning rubber to clean the rest of that up, but no big deal. I try not to get glue on the rail, but sometimes it happens. I see a clump of glue I don't like. I'm just gonna run my toothpick down in there and spread it along. There. Takes care of that. Make sure that's nice and tight against the rail. Beautiful. Look at that. Check the flange ways. Lots of room for the flanges inside there, so good enough. Yeah. There we go. I better put that back in my airbrush box before I lose it. I want to forget to put the manhole cover back in, down in there. So it's a nice added little detail. I like that. All right, so this is where we got to cut in a piece of track. It's right here. So I'm going to figure it out and just measure it, and then depending on how I want the road from here to here, you know what I mean? So because the crossing used to be here. That's where the original one, because I went straight across. So I decided to move it down and to remove that track because I want this crossing over here, right across from it. So bingo, right? I'm not sure if I'm going to do this today. Or am I going to maybe stick one more road piece in, but the street running is only going to come to where it ends here. So I think I'll leave this piece out for now. I think that's all I'm going to do for today, I think. I think so. I think that's it for today. All I'm doing is just figuring out my spacing here for the vehicles. And that gives me enough distance between the truck and the locomotive down in here. So and then we got the right distance between the truck and the edge of the road here in the plow, you see. Just perfect. Well, that's going to look awesome when the train comes through. There we go. We just put that in there for show. Yeah. The time I put my curbs in and sidewalks on the other side, you should be able to have enough room for parking here like this. Cars go around. Another little lane. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. It depends how much room I got in here, really. It's going to dictate what's going to go happening along here anyways. So that's for now. It's going to look perfect. There we go. Just something like that. And the cop car parked off to the side. Taxi cab going by. Big truck coming in. It's actually coming right in, a little closer to the cop car. I think that's gonna work out all right. So we got your parking lane here, and then your run through lane. I think that'll work. We'll find out once I start putting the buildings in. Once the road system is done on both sides of the track, by the way. So they get all the roads put in, get everything all done, get the roads out of the way. And then we'll start figuring out where I'm going to be placing what buildings where and what houses. So oh, K&D Scrappings here. How you doing, K&D? I'm getting ready to end the stream here. So we're just going to flip the camera back around the other way. Bingo. There we go. Because I'm getting hungry and I'm going to make something to eat. So I'm going to have to check out this Bella spreader and everything. Hello, everyone. Just popped in. Popped up my YouTube. It's about time someone's live stream worked on a railroad. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So I was working on it. So if you want to go back to see what I was doing, just watch the replay or everything. So, but for right now, we're going to end the stream. That's all I'm going to do for today on the part 3 of the street running scene. So, yeah, you have a great Christmas. I hope everybody has a good Christmas. So, Merry Christmas to everybody, wherever you are in the world. And we'll catch everybody later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now. I won't be live streaming now until after Christmas. See you later.